Hello, everybody. So this was one of the nastiest surprise gaps that I've seen in quite a long time in these semiconductors, which is or not related to this AI news that China has a system that doesn't require so much power, and they have the chips and competition for all of the ones here. So this had broken out last week above these recent highs, and it looked like it could go higher on Friday's reversal bar. The expectation was because of the depth of the retracement and close above these highs that, this might pull back a little bit, pull back up again, and then eventually go higher. That would be the typical pattern. No, the news came out, and this gap down to the bottom of the consolidation, and as of this moment, it's closing below it, which would suggest a move lower. So it looks pretty darn bad. Some of the semiconductors, maybe they're not so AI related, or maybe a little bit better than others. This one didn't gap below the base, but certainly gapped down. We could see if any of them are up on the day by sorting it this way. And yeah, well, microchips up below the open, but would be up on the day. Texas Instruments already got killed last week. This one's within a consolidation, so the ones that are up on the day, none of them look very good. And if we look at the ones that are down on the day, well, this was a big winner. That got killed. So severe damage done, no doubt about it. Look at NVIDIA breaking down below all of these lows. At the moment, closing below the 200. Taiwan down. I mean, it's broad-based. It's really bad, and that certainly means that tech can't do well. But this ETF being more diversified than a focused semiconductor is holding up better. So, down near those lows above the 200, some getting killed, but let's see what's up on the day. CRM looks great. Wide range bar up. We'll look for a 1, 2, 3 for that. Certainly a put spread, if there's premium, would make a whole lot of sense. Expiring at the end of the week. But let's see if we can get a 1, 2, 3. Apple's going to report earnings. I don't know if Dan still has this open. Let me take a look at open positions here. Maybe he just did it. Yeah, I think he just did it for himself. Greedy guy. I think he sold a naked put. We talked about this in MT Live, that it was down on this major support, and there was some premium down below here. I think he sold a naked put. He probably collected the money already. Nice breakout. Wide range bar up at the top of the base. Another software, Akamai, looks good, was at top of the base there. Intuit, reversal day today. Reversal. That one's new highs. Now backing off from that breakout. So still some things that look pretty darn great. Movement into defensive, consumer discretionary. We talked about this in the weekend letter over the last couple of weeks, that it was down at this support, is still in a downtrend. I was hoping to get a little pullback or sideways price action here, but the move down in the broader markets in tech, money just flew into here and out of there. So that's up at the 200 now. You can look at, see what's doing well. Pepsi making a turn, Schmuckers, Kraft. So all the ones that have been doing really bad, money flowing into. That one looks a bit better. It went sideways for a while and closing above a pivot. So Coca-Cola, you might want to consider picking up some of that. And that one's in a downtrend, a little bit more sideways. Healthcare, zoomed up. I was hoping this one would pull back, but nope. That's up into resistance now at a wide range bar after multiple days up. We'll have to see how this consolidates. What's doing good? Well, that's a nice reversal. That could be the start. Maybe get a 1, 2, 3. Kind of like that one. J&J already up. So healthcare, with all of the news about JFK and healthcare and all so on and so forth that pounded it down earlier, this looks great. Like this can go higher. ELV. Backs are already moving up a bit. So a lot in here that looks like even doggy PFE Pfizer starting to bottom out. I still don't like the weekly pattern, but anyway, that's bottoming out. Uh, Real estate holding up. And you know what? With the nastiness this morning, as I saw what was happening in the broader markets, I thought, wow, maybe interest rates are up. But no, they weren't. But we'll see what they're going to do on Wednesday with the Fed meeting. But they actually were moving down. And that's what has held up, for the most part, financials, which they're not up a lot. But look at the relative strength versus semiconductors and technology. And that looks really good because interest rates are moving down. If on Wednesday, for some reason, whatever the Fed guy is going to say, interest rates start perking back higher again, these will run into some headwinds and move lower, but yet to be seen. A lot of regional banks are going to be reporting, I think about 40 of them this week. So that's backed off a little bit, probably some hesitancy. But look, you got a little buy set up there on the 65 minutes. So maybe this topping tail won't follow through. There's lots of support here. So there's a bit of a lesson. Even though you've got a daily individual bearish bar, a topping tail, on a closing basis, it's still up on the day. The hourly chart broke out above this resistance. It's on that support now. It's a little hook type of a pattern, and maybe this can actually get turned around. So keep an eye on that. Communication services, gap reversal, that looks good. You've got a few in here, I think, going to be reporting earnings. This one, I think Dan sold a put spread on in the weekly options letter today. Or was it in the advisory letter? I thought I saw, maybe he closed it already. I could have sworn I saw that. Anyway, a lot of trades. TMUS, that looks like a good turnaround, decent weekly. See how it deals with this pivot high area over here. Disney turning around. Telephone, well, that broke out. Verizon. So some of these communication stocks look pretty darn good. Financials we looked at. Consumer discretionary. I like the way that came back from the gap down. Interest rates moving down, so some of the home builders finding a little support because of those interest rates moving down, but they're going to be susceptible to whatever direction those interest rates go. The 10-year. Chipotle bottoming out here. This is worthy of looking for a put spread, which we can just slide this over and take a look. I'll mention it to Dan if there's any premium at the end of the week. Maybe 56 or below. Not enough juice, and probably don't want to go out to next week with all the news coming out. There is some premium there. I'll mention it to him later. Nike, just been a dog. It's on this major support. That might be making a turnaround. Lots of resistance there. eBay, I like that. Let's see if this can hold on to its gain today. It's got lots of room. Look at that void on the 65-minute. So definitely eBay. Materials, that's been dogging it for a while. Energy pulling back to where buyers should want to step up somewhere in here. And let's see what USO is doing. That's pulling back as well. So the correlation is relatively tight. It isn't always that way. You might think it is. Kind of logical that it would flow with the direction of crude oil, those oil stocks, but they don't always do that. Sometimes they diverge quite a bit. Industrials down a bit. Spiders, big gap down, of course. Utilities, that moved down because, hey, if this chip thing that China's got is for real, all of this buying of utilities companies and nuclear and all that, well, that kind of shakes things up. Is it this one? Or is it, I forget the symbol, NUA? I forget the symbol anyway. I can look it up after I'm done. One of the nuclear stocks. We already looked at this, and let's see what's doing good in my list here. XLF. Healthcare we looked at. It's up a lot. Home construction. Those insurance. Home builders. So kind of a nasty day. Primarily in technology, so it's not a broad-based thing for the most part. We'll see where it goes over the coming days. Lots of earnings and the big Fed announcement coming on Wednesday. As always, if you have questions, email us, Greg and Dan at Master Trader.